Okay, good evening and welcome to the Highgate Selectboard meeting for May 19th, 2022. Our first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming. Are there any comments for public comment that are not on the agenda?
No, the only thing I will say is I'm getting the flyers out for Memorial Day and the rural development. Otherwise than that, the paving is done on the beginning of Monument Road, so there won't be no more trash up there, which is going to be a big relief. It's laid out there.
I'm gonna start relabeling public comment to super update.
Yeah.
Town messenger.
Okay.
Yep.
We're on the subject of trash. It was, we had a lot of green up this year.
It was bad, wasn't it?
It was 186 tires,
Oh my goodness.
and a lot of it was, they were picking up the green up trash on Monday morning, and people were putting truckloads of tires out. And we had a tandem load of trash that was dumped from somebody's cleaning their shed or something out back here. It's,
How do you police that?
you know, it's hard.
That's ridiculous.
There's always
The
some
tires is,
person that has to ruin it.
Because sellers take it, no problem, but
yeah, they did. I don't know if we will get charged for any of the tires. You know, we got slips, but they didn't say we would be charged.
well, thank you
But
for
I
selling.
think there is
Yeah.
something that they only take so many tires and then
Yeah.
we will be charged, but I'm not sure.
You know, and depending on where you buy your tires, a lot of places are reasonable.
Yeah.
$5 a piece usually.
You know, I mean, go to
It's
Walmart.
gonna be a problem because they are charging more all the time and,
What about farms taking tires to cover?
they're,
They've
got piles, some of them got 3 times more than they need already.
Yeah.
Cause we,
Because people.
we ask.
Yeah.
That and they like they're split now, so they're easier to handle and don't have the water.
And the rats.
I like the dry ones that, we're just taking out of the shed, there's no water. And the ones that lay side the road are
Nasty.
nasty, but we had a lot of dry ones, so
Yeah, that's too
I
bad.
know they didn't come from outside the road.
Okay. So while we have Butch, we will move right on to the paving bids. So we received 4 bids. Pike Industries, J. Hutchins, Frank Whitcombs, and Fresh Coat Asphalt of Barry. So take a bid, pass it down.
Gracias.
So this was an advertised bid. It was directed toward 10 or 11 different outfits that we have used before for bids, and also put out around town and on social media.
And on the state's the state's business registry, BT bids.
Okay, first bid, Pike Industries.
And we do have Brad Gardner here with us if you have any question.
Okay, so comes to a total bid price of $590,463.25. That is the Realm Road, Country Club Road, Macy Road, and the Campanile Road.
Yeah, by the ton, sure.
Yes, $93.65 a ton.
And what about, ton per road? Do you have it figured out that way as well?
Yes, Macy Road at $12.95. That's a 1,295 ton. At 93.65 is $121,276.75. The Country Club Road is 560 ton. At 93.65, $52,444 even. The Macy Road at 1,360 ton at 93.65 is $127,364 even. And the Compano Road at 3,090 ton at 93.65 for a total of $289,378.50. This is valid for 7 days. Done per the scope of work that was provided.
Sharon, excuse me, it looks like Bretton was trying to say something.
Hi,
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Oh, beautiful. I'm sure on a bigger screen than I can see myself. Anyway, I just wanted to, before you open up the other bids, doesn't matter. I would say this before or after, just as, not necessarily just for Pike, but just as an educational thing. In my opinion, and I would say my counterparts, competitors' opinions too, the best way to evaluate these bids is not to concern yourself too much on the quantities, and the quantities being the amount of tons estimated to be installed on the road, because if we were all to put a 1/2 inch shim and 1.5 inch top on each road, then theoretically we would all put the same quantities on. Therefore, ultimately, the most important thing for you to evaluate is the price per ton. And that's all I had to say. And if you had any questions about that, I can answer it. But again, this is just for, I guess, educational purposes, and to my services to the town, not necessarily for something in Pike's favor or anything.
Okay.
So for someone uneducated as myself, when it comes to this.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at apples for apples and not comparing bids, I understand the price per ton.
Yep.
We have other bids that are more ton for the same road. If we actually went, you're saying that the price per ton is really what if there's more ton on another bid to do the same road.
So
Is it that
so like
company is
what I would-
doing it, or is it that?
exactly.
Undercut?
Well, they might just be estimating it differently than I am. Or maybe they did their math different or wrong, or maybe I did my math wrong. But ultimately, when you're paving, and you have the paver, and you tell your paving crew, the guys on the back end, to put 1 inch shim on the road, or 1/2 inch shim on the road, 3/4 inch shim on the road, they set their screed so it sets the depth, and they run it on the road. The shim is the hardest thing to estimate, because the road is, all out of shape. And so that's where we're all often off a little bit. On the top course, well, sometimes folks don't go out and actually measure the roads, like I do. I have a very good relationship with the town. But anyway, beyond that, everyone, they might say, my measurement tool on my truck might say 4,000 feet, 4,350 feet. And that guy the next person might measure 4,450 feet. And he might think it's 24 feet, where I think it's an average of 23 feet, kind of, but ultimately the road is the road. And if you're doing it the way that is specified, and that Butch and the crew want it to be done, and if they're being honest, we should all have more or less the same amount of tons installed on the road, is what I'm getting at. So him and hawing about, and I'm not blaming you guys for doing it. Again, I'm just trying to help. That's most of the reason why I'm here. On a Thursday night when I should be with my family, is to help as much as I can. But that's ultimately what I'm getting at. What some towns do to avoid the confusion, I guess, on bid day, is to actually put the amount of tons on the bid form. This road, 1,050 tons, this road, 2,000 tons, this road, 500 tons. And that could make it more apples to apples. And then they say, and then you'll have a thing, a line item on the bottom saying, invoice to be only versus tons installed on the road. This is just an estimated quantity.
Okay, so per your bid, you have in bold letters, asphalt, cement, price adjustment shall be paid in its entirety to Pike Industries
Yep.
for the construction
So
contract.
this might be a new thing this is the other reason why I'm here tonight. This might be another new thing, the town of Highgate, as everyone I assume is aware, is anything in recent memory, prices are outrageous right now with everything. I just paid $480 to fill my truck today. Spent $90 to fill my truck when it used to be $45. Anyway, asphalt price adjustment is an industry standard that I've been trying to avoid in the town of Highgate, and I can't anymore this year. What it is so asphalt is petroleum based byproduct, right? All liquid asphalt is petroleum. It's the very bottom of the refinery tank.
Yeah, we got that part.
We buy that stuff per ton, and the state of Vermont has developed, and many other states has developed a way for contractors to be able to get reimbursed for liquid asphalt increases after bid date. So they have the state of Vermont, which mirrors the state of New York, has an average price that they post on their website every month for the average. They do a national or a regional search to see what the average price of liquid asphalt is every month, and they post it on their website. And so all contractors use that. So on bid date, we have it as your baseline, which is $719 a ton right now. Ton of liquid, not of asphalt. And then on construction day, whichever month that is, say that's in July, we would then take whatever the posting that is minus the posting on bid day, multiplied by the amount of tons of liquid asphalt that went into the mix, which we can, the asphalt plant will print you out exactly how much you've used. And then so the difference between those two numbers times the amount of tons of asphalt used is your asphalt price adjustment. Now, in some years, it can be a negative number. Sorry if you hear some whining, my 2-year-old is next to me. On some years that can be a negative number. Some years it can be a very high positive number. Right now, they're scared that it could be a number that's so high that we can't not put it in our bids right now. In my understanding, every contractor right now is putting it in their bids, the asphalt price adjustment. It's in every state contract, and now it's standard practice in the industry. I have communicated with Butch about this, and Heidi also is aware of this as well. I don't know if Heidi's at the meeting tonight, but
She is, yes.
I had a conversation with Lee via email with Heidi about it. So you'll probably see that wording in every bid, I imagine, in some various form. But that's what that is. And the way to be able to, apologize, get up and move for a second. The way to be able to kind of get around the concerns over whether we're going to go over budget is, if you were working with me, for example, I would know on the date that we were paving what the posting was that month and what the overage, I guess, was going to be on the bid price. And if we had to reduce tons to stay on budget, then we'd do so. And we've done that in the past in several other towns. But I just don't think we've had to do that with town of Highgate, and I wish not to, because such a valuable customer to Pike. But the times have changed. So that's asphalt price adjustment. I can go through it more in another time if you'd like to. I don't want to take up too much more time of your board meeting tonight.
No, it's pretty self-evident.
Thank you. So do you want to continue reading the tons of this? You want
Yeah,
to just
did
go
you
for
have a
that?
question, Ty? No, sorry. Okay, yes, go ahead.
So we started with the tons, so we'll.
Yep.
I have J. Hutchins Incorporated. Bid amount is $641,700. Compano Road, 202,927 ton. Ram Road, 1,154 ton. The Country Club, 872 ton. Macy Road, 1,464 ton. Their unit price per ton is $100 per ton. The price is valid for 30 days, and it also has the asphalt cement price index. Obviously, everyone's going to have that.
Sorry for the interruption there. You said $100 a ton for
Yes.
Hutchins? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay, I got, asphalt, free coat, asphalt services. And they're paving, say, the Compton Ram and Country Club roads for town bid. Packet quality amount of tons of rate is, okay, quantity of tonnage is 5,000. It's 310. Rate is $98 ton. And the amount for those is $520,380. Paving Macy Road for town bid, packet pricing, grand approved. And that is ton is 1,452. Rate is $98. And the amount is $142,296 for a grand total of $662,676.
All right, I got FW Whitcomb Corporation. Same roads, Mesha, is it Campana?
Compano.
Campana, Ramey Road and Country Club. For Mesha, we're looking at 1,393 tons. Campana, 2,824 tons. Ramey Road, 1,060 tons. Country Club, 435 for a grand total of 5,712 tons. Unit price per ton is $91.25 for a grand total of $521,220. And this is good for 30 days also.
I think there's also another contractor in the back. Are you with Wickham? I can't read.
Jay
your-
Hutchins.
Hutchins. Do you have any questions or?
No,
So I got a question, Sharon. After hearing Mr. Gardner talk. In the I didn't read the RFP for the bids, but does it state what what we're requiring for thickness and skim coats and all that?
Yeah.
And how do we, but it makes a question for Butch probably, how do we know that that's what we get, Butch?
Every load that they come in with, they have a slip.
But listening to Mr. Gardner, he's saying, for thickness, how do we know we're getting the thickness that they're supposed to be giving us, other than taking them for their word?
It's us checking
Is it, okay.
and working.
If you'd like me to chime in, I'd be happy to.
Sure.
To be honest with you, with the town of Highgate, it's on the honor policy. There's no representative from the town poking the mat like on a state job, telling us how thick it is. We're doing it the way that we said we would do it. And that's really it. But at the I mean, it as a good road foreman, and Butch is very good, we'll know if we did it the right way or not. I mean, but he doesn't bother us too much. Well, I say how many tons it's gonna take, and usually it takes pretty similar.
And you would always have the option of poking it and actually checking.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's a need to, I just didn't.
No, you wanted to know how it's done.
Absolutely. We totally are happy. And I imagine any other contractor's used to it. That especially that does state work, that has an engineer walking behind the paver all day long. And that's certainly an option. Some towns do that. Not many. Some.
Butch?
Well, I think for the bids that we have, we're gonna have to redo the roads. We only have 300 and
Ooh.
we don't have the money. I don't know what. You can't accept something and not.
Well, and I think with the base price of everything right now, that's just gonna be a reality. I mean, I can totally understand the price adjustment. It's only fair,
Is that would be grant funded, so you can take the Nation Road off from that, the total bid. Start with.
Are you suggesting putting out another RFP with the roads after reevaluating what needs to be
Because of the pricing and so forth.
prioritized?
Or you could just reduce the scope of the work rather than put it out to bid it and get the same responses.
Right.
We should get the same price per ton.
Yeah,
With the,
you could reduce the scope.
well, I think, for the bidders, that it's only fair to ask that question.
Right,
You
you
know,
could ask
if
them,
you're dropping your requirements for tonnage, it's not fair to assume that they will keep their unit price.
If you're interested, I'd be willing to comment again.
Yes,
So
but
this is a very common thing, unfortunately, this year. We're not happy either about the increasing in pricing. We're not getting higher margins. It's just the costs are through the roof right now. And fully expecting reduced total contract. And willing to negotiate that, and very hopeful, at least on my end, we'd be able to hold the price per ton.
I don't think that's gonna have to go out to everyone.
Being the only contractor here, I probably could say we'd guarantee we'd hold the price per ton no matter what, if we were selected.
Well, you're not the only contractor here, so
Oh, I didn't know that.
yes, we have a representative from Hutchins. So I guess we'd ask the same question.
No, I know they're pretty firm on their price per ton, but they would be willing to stay at that price if you reduce the roads, or the amount of tonnage.
Okay. Do you have an idea of what priority you have in mind?
Really, I've only worked with bikes since.
No, I meant for
Oh,
roads,
for
which
roads.
roads are
That's what I was
Right.
gonna
better
ask.
or worse than others?
That's what I was just gonna ask.
Yeah, the Compano was gonna take the most, we may be able to cut a section, you know, a section out of it. The rail really needs it, and if we had to do half, or, I'm open to it. The country club, the reason we were doing the country club, because it was so close to town, we wouldn't have a moving charge.
Right.
In there. That would last that road a long time. It's probably hasn't been done since the interstate was built.
Yeah, no, only makes good sense there.
Rams got more houses on there than ever.
That Compano, I think, is where, you know, we have some room to work.
Okay,
Okay, so,
And I wasn't, you know, I was just saying I worked with bike.
Yeah.
I can work with.
no, you just, no, that's just, we've all,
I'm not.
Didn't say
I'm
it.
swaying, I'm just saying that.
no, that's the only,
But those
that's the only
were-
contract we've ever worked with, that's all you said.
Yeah, they would say we're willing to work with. Anyway.
yeah, I'm sure everyone is fair and would do a decent job for the town.
Another thing that's you need to think about is if they're close on prices and everything up in limbo on what happens from week to week, what contractor can get here in June or July versus September. You know, if prices are gonna keep going up every week,
They coming back down for a
They're not
while.
coming down.
They're gonna keep going.
right, just something to think about.
Okay, so Butch, do you want to go back through and amend what you actually want for road projects?
I guess if that's how,
And
Should.
does that mean, Shelley, that we need to put that back out to bid?
That's a tough one. You're saying they can reduce the scope of work, but
I don't see any value in putting it back out to
Right.
bid again.
The only
They've
thing
got-
my-
they've got the
Yeah.
price,
Question
even
I
the
is-
bids you've got,
Right.
there's still a possibility it's gonna be a different amount.
The two
So
representatives where, that we don't have here now,
It's just
we need to
another,
extend them the same,
I think your motion would probably suffice if it was specific to what Butch was gonna pay. If we accept yada yada to pay Compano, whatever on there.
but we don't know until
They
we talk to
sectioned
the
it all
other.
out on their bids and.
Right, they did, but we don't know until we talk to the other two companies if they'll hold their price per ton or not. How
I
can we?
guess if they were awarded it, they could always not accept what they were awarded. And then it would go to maybe your second choice, or you have to make another choice.
Agreed. And you can go into the executive for your contract, your discussion. You can actually look at what you have in the budget exactly and scope it down. And then we can communicate with the firms.
Okay. Having said that, do we think we can get that accomplished by tomorrow? So that we can let these folks know? Okay, so we would say that we will take it to executive, but that we thank all 4 companies for their bids, and that we will notify you, can you notify them tomorrow? We'll notify each company tomorrow as to the decision.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.
You too. Okay. So, yes, bids, please.
Where are you saying Compano? Compano is the one that needs it the most, that's the number 1 priority.
Ram.
Yeah, a rain.
Compano can be reduced, he said.
Right,
Compano.
Getting pretty fringy
Yeah,
there.
reduce and.
So Ram and Country Club, because that just makes sense.
Well,
It's
that's,
a hard decision to, who gets it, who don't, you know?
it's just a sign of the times.
It is.
Go as far as you can until the money's gone, like,
You know, if diesel goes to $10 a gallon, none of these guys are gonna wanna run their trucks for that. It's a rock and a hard price for them and for us.
Oh, it's awful for them too.
We were a lot closer, you know, from what my figures were, what we were gonna put down for tonnage in that, back in February.
Right, that's what,
Okay,
I'm up to make percent.
so can you stay?
Yes.
Alright, so we'll move right on. Shelley?
Okay. Check warrant is in front of Sharon. Were there any questions on that?
I didn't have any.
So can I have a motion to sign the check warrant? Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
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 And as you're signing that, a quick update, the outstanding delinquent tax balance is down to $63,067.55.
Awesome.
Yep, we're getting down there, which is good because my next notice, which will be around June 1st, is going to be the final warning, and then the tax sale process will start. And unfortunately, there's still quite a few people on this list that have yet to even contact me, so I'm hoping that changes. Next, I sent you an email. We, as in the Highgate Volunteer Fire Department, has received a very generous donation from the Evelyn Chevalier Trust, and the amount of $11,709.16. We knew it was a percentage. We did not know the amount until the check came in, and Gary and I were both quite shocked. Gary was already talking with the department about how they were going to fund some outdated equipment, and this seems to be perfect timing. Their thermal imager is very outdated and needs to be replaced, and that's quite expensive. He didn't give me we haven't spec'd any out, but between the $6,000 and $8,000 mark, and then of course with the way prices are going, probably on the higher end. So that would be the number one thing they would love to do with this money, as well as there's a few other things that need some updating on that side of the building. So there is a form in front of Sharon that we do need to accept these funds. I have to mail it back to the trust company of Vermont. Do you have any questions? I'm not sure I can answer any questions about it, but do you have any questions that I might be able to answer about this?
Just a comment, just what an amazing gift, and thank you very much.
Very.
And Mrs. Chevalier is related to the Chevalier well drilling family. And she is an aunt, a favorite aunt of that family, and was very gracious in giving this gift, and I have heard many other gifts too surrounding.
Yes,
So
yes.
we're very
We-
thankful for that.
Don't know who, but I know we were one of many.
Yep.
So, she was very
Very nice.
generous.
So do I have a motion to sign the full receipt, release, and refunding agreement?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So in order to make it a little bit cleaner for the auditors and myself, I told Gary I would deposit this July 1st. So that gives it the deposit going into their revenue, and the expenditures to offset will be in the same fiscal year. And they can also better track that on their own budget in the department itself. But it will also give them time to find exactly what they are needing and looking for. So this will be in the vault for June.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right, any other questions for Shelley?
Great job on the taxes, Shelley.
You're welcome.
Okay, Wendy?
Okay. Last meeting minutes, May 5th. I think the only one that wasn't here is Richard.
Okay, so has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes.
Do we have a motion to sign the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Let's see. Sue touched on it, but Memorial Day, chicken barbecue at 10. $10 a person, that's with the fire department. The parade is at noon, starting at the arena, line up at 11:30, Richard?
Yep.
I did put a note, no political entries. You guys had made that decision
Yes.
years ago that we don't
Yeah.
want that, so they could be on the sidelines and whatever, but not marching. And then Sue is working on the bake sale, proceeds to benefit, further updates to the monument. Sue, you still gonna be in the park at 9:30-ish?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Are you still gonna be the guest speaker?
For what?
For Memorial Day.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
I thought it was at your school.
No,
No.
Swan Dingley.
Oh. I guess we gotta talk a little more.
I told you 2 weeks ago, Richard.
Here? Here? No, Franklin. Yes, here.
Yeah.
Boy.
Uh,
All
We'll
I'm gonna
talk
ask
about
is that have your ducks in a row, like, because we are closed the 26th here, Shelley and I are in training. So the days leading up to Memorial Day, this office is, nobody's gonna be here. And last year, they were knocking on my door Memorial Day morning looking for a sound system.
Yeah.
So let's not have that this year,
Good. I'm on it.
which is at the arena. The sound system is at the arena, by the way.
Okay, so go see Ty then.
Yes, knock on
Not
five.
that ties away.
Yeah.
Not 6:30.
So I think that was it on Memorial Day. You have your flags, you have your wreaths, you have your grave, firefighter grave flags. I think you've got everything you guys need.
Yeah.
Okay. If not, there's still time, a little bit of time anyway, but, flooring. Richard asked about the flooring. So you guys made a motion last meeting to go with liquid stone. We contacted him to make sure the timeline was still good. I talked with Public Works. We're gonna move all the furniture out of this room on Thursday, June 30th. Put it up front. Butch said one of the bays, we could also use some space over there for stuff. They're gonna rip these carpets out on Friday, July 1st. And then he plans to work July 4th, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they will be putting in the new floor. So we should be able to put the office back together and successfully open back up on time. He came and picked up his deposit today to order all the materials. So it'll be this room, the hallway, and the 2 bathrooms. Richard had asked about the fire department. I did reach out to Gary weeks ago to bring it up to your department. Is it something that they want? Is it something they want to use their money for? Or is it not a priority? I haven't heard back. So right now, this phase is moving forward without that. Doesn't mean they can't jump on the next phase if they want to.
I've been priority.
Right. So, I mean, they just came into some extra money, so maybe it is a priority now, I don't know. So it's up to them, but, so that is gonna, so technically we'll only be closed here 3 days. So I don't know if everybody's gonna take vacation days or work remote or what everybody's gonna do, but that's a pretty slow week here anyway.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So any questions about that?
No.
Okay. They're gonna try to repurpose the vinyl cove if they can, pull it off and reuse it. If not, we'll have to get some new stuff, but the plan is to reuse what we can. Lister grievances, this was posted by the Lister's office on Tuesday. Notice to taxpayers, if they want to grieve their assessment, they need to notify the Lister's office by Tuesday, June 7th at 2 p.m. That is the day of the grievance meetings. So the Listers will need to hear from you, preferably ahead of that day, but you can show up that day. A mailing went out Tuesday to anybody whose assessment had changed, that there was a change in their assessment. I got one. So if you want to grieve it, you can, but even if you didn't get a letter, you can reach out to the Lister's office and start that process. So this is posted publicly. What else? I think that's it for me.
Okay. Heidi?
Well, I wish I had an easy one to start with, but I don't. So we're gonna jump right into a hard one. So you know that we were not awarded funding through EDA for our request for the economic adjustment at the 80% cap. So we've been on the phone, myself and Tim Smith and our engineer, talking with Matthew Suchodowski, and we're able to get right into the other fund, which is the implementation for public works. And very similar applications, but this one is only a 50% match. So it puts the town in a very different financial position. So there is a breakout in the packet, and where you don't have the packet to look at. So they're asking us to have another application to submit in June. So we could keep the project on track. So it would mean that the town would have to put in close to 800,000, so just shy of 800,000. So would mean utilizing either taking a loan for 500,000 as the voters have authorized and using the balance of ARPA funds, or just using ARPA funds.
What other grant funding might be available?
Well, I think we will know more soon, because the budget just passed, the state budget just passed. There's a lot of funds, different funds. I believe there's a lot of money out there, but I'm not aware of them all. I know that we were told that if we needed gap funding, we could reactivate our application to Vermont Community Development Program. That was a $500,000 maximum, but I'm not sure that they would, give us the maximum on that. So I can't say with real certainty. All I can say is that there's still a lot of money floating around out there, looking for a place to land.
So we have updated the piece that they said we were missing.
The engineering report, Wayne is working on that. So he'll have to work through that, and basically he has all the information, they just wanted it in a different format.
And the MOU, I'm sure, will be beneficial to put in that packet as well.
MOU is essential, and I have mentioned to Reg already that they want Swanton as a co-applicant. And they basically said that's essential to our success. So that's one more thing to discuss with Swanton. Because they own the infrastructure, they would not be financially liable, but the EDA is looking at them as needing to be committed to the project. So that's the other piece.
So the hill just got steeper.
Yeah.
Did we get a reason why we were turned out though?
Well, the reason that the letter is in the packet, the reason that they stated was that our engineering report was not in the right place. I suspect that the reason is also that they received more requests than they had funded.
Yeah, on the back side of your, there you go.
Yep. Double set.
I think we're working with an exceptionally qualified engineering firm. It's doing a good job for us. I think that was,
But it was an expensive typo.
I-
If it wasn't in the right format.
What's, could we ever apply for that EDA grant again?
the one that we just applied for, I would say not. I believe that that was just a pool of money that was coming from ARPA. So this is the standard grant opportunity that they always have.
So can you explain to me, I don't understand that it was in the wrong format. I don't understand the terminology.
I don't know if I can explain it. What I would say is that we had many phone calls with them, that requesting additional information, requesting tweaks, and we happily jumped on all of them and responded. That happened 2 or 3 times. They never asked us to do anything differently in regards to the engineering portion.
So
We could have easily resolved it.
questions not answered was the wrong format, is that what it sugars down to for the boneheads of the world like me?
Yeah, I would say, I mean,
To me, the wrong format was it was in cursive and not printed, so there was information that didn't have certain information.
Yeah, they say the application's preliminary engineering report was not provided on the EDA template and did not contain the proper and correct content needed for the pro engineering team to complete their review as required by the NOFO, which is the,
It's a funding opportunity.
yes.
and again, I would say through the conversations we were having with our contact in Philadelphia, the slightest thing could lead to disqualification because they were overwhelmed. So,
I think, personally, it has more to do with the co-applicants and the MOU. That they wanted more security for their money.
I think that there may be some truth to what Sharon is saying.
I'm just asking, I just don't understand I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much there was,
Tough pill to take.
yeah, it's a big shot.
Yeah.
They've got people looking for T's not crossed or I's not dotted, and that was enough reason to kick it out. More than likely, that's what it was. Okay.
It does say in the next line after their refusal, it says it suggested that the town of Highgate continue its application development. So it's saying there's a chance.
No.
No, I think what
For
they're
the-
saying is for the other fund.
The other
Yeah,
one.
for the
he-
50% fund.
Is there an appeal process, or is this just one and done and end of story for us?
I'm not aware of an appeal process, and I think that it might be detrimental to our ability to get funding from the other pool. I can't say with any certainty.
How things work. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, I'm just asking, just so I understand.
If you're asking the same questions I would be asking if I was sitting in your spot, so.
I mean, many times when I was in the fire department and we had people writing grants and we wouldn't even get through the first level until we found out there were certain words that if you use certain words, you automatically, computer kicked you out. Then we had a grant writer write a grant for us and we got the grant. I said, okay, got it. This is kind of what the situation is, it seems. Okay.
So, at this point, do we want to go forward with the Public Works application to the EDA for $1,400,000? To attempt to get all or any of that funding?
What do we got to lose?
No one heard.
That's exactly what I think. What do you got to lose?
We're too invested in this not to.
Right. I also think that we need to really look at what comes through Vermont. Maybe we can hook onto some of that funding. And maybe there is some other economic development funding, whether it be maybe another Northern Borders grant or something else we can pick up to help pick up the extra money.
Agreed.
Because otherwise, you know,
Sunk.
well, yeah. I mean, we've got the money from the Northern Borders grant now, putting together a final design. When that design goes out to bid, the way prices are right now, probably won't be under the bid, but we can always hope. So let's make that a motion to go forward with the application for the Public Works program of the EDA.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Let's go forward to that and become the bestest friends with Matthew.
Yes, and we meet with Swanton Village on the 25th,
Yes.
so we have a lot to cover that night.
Yep.
And I heard from everyone except Richard has a track meet, so if there's a thunderstorm, we'll have you.
Yeah.
And Chris does not believe he'll be able to come.
So very important that the three of us show up.
So that's it for me. We put a dog ordinance in select board items. And this was in response to requests a while ago to look at adding a leash law. And circulated it to Mary and Shelby and Wendy. And Wendy had some thoughts on timing and and, fees.
Yeah.
What you got?
I don't know where, if this was just taken from a template somewhere with, I don't know, I just thought the fees were steep compared to what we have now. It was a 3-step fine process and we have 4 now. I'm not opposed to 3 instead of 4 rounds of tickets, trust me. So the fees seemed steep. It was like impoundment on the second one. That seemed a little early to me.
Yeah.
And timing wise, we are just now, Shelby and I, getting the list together to issue the first round of tickets on our current ordinance. So I didn't know if we should ride that process out before we adopt a new ordinance. So there's no confusion over what we are,
Enforcing.
yes. So usually 4 rounds of tickets, June, July, August, more into the fall, before we are done dealing with it.
So we should table this till fall,
I mean, maybe discuss it, tweak it, but certainly not adopt it
implement it.
until fall, in my opinion. I don't know how Shelby feels, I haven't talked to her.
I would agree with the fines.
Yeah.
I mean, $200 for running at large. You know, I've had dogs slip his leash, chasing all the way around the county, and who happens?
Does it say a repeat offender?
Well,
I think if you're a repeat, maybe, but, yeah.
yeah.
So is this the whole town of Highgate, or is it village, or?
I didn't see it segregated by
Because you get out.
district.
I know we talked at one time about just being on town property.
Yeah, we talked about leashes on town property based on what happened on the walking path last fall.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get, nobody's gonna enforce a leash law outside of town.
Right,
Who's gonna enforce that? I mean, it's,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but what
I
happens
think
is you get
it's
one,
specific to the villages.
I think, yeah, that's what I think it was specific to the village or the rail trail as well.
Yeah.
Well, it's got different fines, lack of license, running at large, there's different fee structures, failure to remove waste.
right, which on the rail trail.
So there's
I mean,
different fee
yeah, who's
structures,
enforcing?
unconfined dog and heat. I mean, based on this draft that we've got.
So if someone's riding a horse and they don't pick up after Mr. Ed, there's no fine, but if someone's walking Fido down the rail trail and he does a number, then you can
That's
fine him?
right.
Right, based on this, that is true. And like first offense for your dog running at large, she's right. Based on this, 200? No, come on.
And, you know, and without Highgate having a dog park, we see a lot of people at the arena, they go there when there's no events going on, play fetch with your dog, there's nothing wrong with it, you know?
Right.
And we don't offer another space in public space for that. Now, if there's a dog digging holes out by the monument, then there's an issue, but responsible pet owners should be able to be responsible pet owners.
Well, I think that's the crux of the decision that's before the select board. That was Shelby's vision, that on municipal property, particularly in the village, that, and I think it's all 3 villages, that people would keep their dogs on a leash. So if you feel that that doesn't fit, then we would need to back away from that.
Well, I agree with what Ty's saying, if they're out in the fields and nobody's around and they're
Right.
doing whatever, I mean, technically, if there's a leash law for municipal property, they're in violation.
Yes.
Well, you've got to use common sense, and I don't think we do that.
Is it all municipal properties that are just a problem, or is it the walking path? Should they have their dog just on a leash on the walking path? I don't know.
Seems like the only issues I've heard has been on the walking path.
Same.
Yeah. I think this is one of those things that the less rules and regulations, probably the better, to be honest. You know, hit your top ones that are an issue or public safety, but otherwise, don't try to cram all these regulations down people's throat. Let them enjoy their animals, let them, you know, have their,
People are quite sensitive when it comes to their dogs.
you betcha.
Yes. I
You
got
start
it.
messing around with that, you open a can of worms you wish you never opened up.
Well, we don't have a lot of trouble on the walking path, right?
We got a few issues over there. Nothing major,
And it
but
wasn't the dog's fault, it was the
No,
people's.
Always.
well,
I
that's
had a pig walking on there at 1 o'clock in the morning.
a separate issue. You knew we have a dog in Highgate now. That was an
What?
issue. in
What's
I had a pig on there,
St.
and the neighbor called me up and said, your pig's
Gentlemen,
over in
did
the
you
walking
hear that?
path.
Did not.
Well, did you hear that? Separate issue, but that dog in St. Albans that they were gonna have
Oh, yeah.
euthanized
Moose.
and they reversed their decision. It's here now.
Moose,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yes, for 30 days, I think he's here. Up to 30 days.
Pretty close to some chickens.
Oh, no.
Were we, everything I read said that the city of St. Albans was supposed to be notifying Highgate officials that the dog had been moved here, but I read it in the paper. Did any of you get?
I heard it on the radio this morning.
I saw it in the paper too.
You just notified me now.
So, he is in good, capable hands with who he's with. I don't have any worries about that. And her goal is to rehome him out of state or to a facility in southern Vermont, I think.
So is this goes after varmints or does he go after people?
He likes chicken.
Chickens and rabbits.
Got a
I
taste for chicken.
think. Yep, and I think
But you know
somebody's
what?
hand got grazed or something in the process.
Oh, yeah,
So he wasn't attacking people, he was going after chickens and then,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
well, it makes me feel a little better just,
Yeah, so he's
I don't know
here,
any chickens, so,
he is he's in with a good family.
good.
So, anyway, that's a side note. I just thought we'd be notified, not by the messenger or the UCAS.
Well, St. Albans officials did notify you. Just have to be the messenger.
Anyway, so I don't know if a better time to finalize this is over the winter months, when we're not actively dealing with
I think so.
these
Yeah.
issues as much.
Well, and I think if you're not interested in the leash law, we let Shelby know that and give her an opportunity to comment back if there's something she knows that we don't know, and you can take your time. And
It's important that Shelby definitely be part of that, absolutely.
she wasn't able to make it tonight because of a sports event.
But I will say our current ordinance was updated in 2014. And it was a huge improvement over where we were with the one that was
Right.
currently in place. I think it serves us relatively well, with the exception of maybe that issue that Shelby wants to talk about.
And I think that Ed put in the maximum amount of fines that you're allowed to charge, so if Highgate wants to charge less, I believe that that is within our ability to just drop those fines down.
Yeah, I think right now our fines are the same for everything. It's like 25 first offense,
Right.
50 second offense. It's not different for every infraction kind of thing. So, I don't know, I think simple's better, but anyway.
Okay.
Make the motion that we table it till fall.
Yep. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and we have one last meeting for the Highgate Reaching New Heights. So with the Vermont Rural Development, May 24th, 6:30 to 9 at the Highgate Elementary.
Pizza, cookies, and something,
Drinks.
okay? The good kind?
So. So those, these are opportunities for people to become involved, to reach out and make a difference in your community. We were a little shy on participation last time, so we would really like to see a big ending group so that we have nice participation. It'll include people from all over the state that have ideas on how to fund these ideas, how to actually accomplish some of these ideas. People who have been there, done that can help us go in some of the directions that we had already noted in the previous meetings. So May 24th, 6:30 at the elementary school. Be there or be square. Yes, I know, I'm old. Get over it. All right, anything else for select board?
I didn't mention the in-person meeting for the LVRT.
That's a good idea. Do you wanna do that?
I don't know the dates.
I wrote it down earlier. Ty and I participated in the LVRT meeting earlier this afternoon, where they allowed towns the opportunity to talk about what would you like to highlight in your community. And there is a follow-up meeting to that, and that's June 21st in Swanton Village, and I didn't catch the time, but I'm assuming it's like a 5 or 6 o'clock, I can't remember. And more information to come on that, but it's a big deal, and they're trying to do like a comprehensive marketing strategy for all the communities and sign up trail-friendly businesses so that we can put flyers in there for businesses, and to create the kiosk at the arena that would say, you know, this village has all these great places to get a sandwich and places you can sit in the shade, and even a rustic campsite on the river. So it's a great project.
So LVRT is Lamoille Valley Rail Trail.
And they're working to get, this meeting, they're gonna discuss what V-Trans is gonna have for a management plan, mowing and taking care of things.
Okay. Anything else?
Route 7's coming along really good if you haven't been out there. And the only other thing, I think, is it June 4th? There's the food truck flying at the airport.
What?
It's a Saturday.
Yeah, I believe so.
That's Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. You can drive or fly. It's food trucks at the airport. It's on Facebook. You can check it out. Kind of a neat little event. So I got.
Okay. And since our next meeting will be after, we, as always, honor our veterans and our prisoners of war and our lost souls on Memorial Day. So everybody come out. It's not just a parade, it's a time to say thank you for your service, thank you for your sacrifices, both members and their families. So a solemn but happy Memorial Day. So I would make the motion to exit the regularly scheduled select board meeting and enter into executive with Butch Brusso and Heidi Birch Valenta. So I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 I think it's great idea. Just have